Hi, this is Mike Peterson from Challenge Island, Oakland County East, back with another Steamtastic Friday. We're in the middle of our music series at Challenge Island right now, so today we're going to talk a little bit about the engineering that can go into music to make playing music a lot easier and a lot more fun. So I'm going to use a pretty basic electric piano here as an example. So one of the cool things that is engineered into electronic instruments like pianos and synthesizers these days are all kinds of ways to adjust the sound so that you can get really interesting things to happen. So for example, if I just play it to sound like a normal piano, so it sounds like a piano, but there's some other effects that are pretty common on electronic instruments like this. So for example, we can adjust what's called brilliance. So if I turn it up, listen to what happens now. So if you listen, it gets a little brighter. It sounds like I'm hitting the keys a little harder, even though I'm really not. So that's an adjustment that you can make. Another thing we can play with is called reverb. So that's short for reverberation, which is a big fancy science word for basically echoing. So it kind of makes it sound like it's more in a bigger room and the sound's bouncing around. So instead of just like that. Now if we listen close, it sounds like we're playing in a big concert hall as opposed to just in my living room here. So then what we can do to take it even further, because there's rules that govern how music works, so we can use that, or the engineers can use that to program in some really cool patterns and rhythms so that we can just play a few notes, but then build a really cool sounding song around it. So just for example, we could take a song by the Beatles called Hey Jude. That's a really classic song from back when the Beatles were popular in the 70s. The basic way it goes is, so that's what you would play with your right hand. Now the left hand, if we just play it really simply, the really basic chords would be an F, E flat, and then a B flat, and a C. All right, so if you like to see what that looks like on a bass clef, it'll look something like that. So if you'd like to try this at home, so you need to play an F, E flat, B flat, and C. So just play those as whole notes with that Hey Jude going on. So if I just do it like it would be on a regular piano, it might sound something like this. Okay, but with what the engineers have done with a piano like this, we can add a lot more to it. So I'm just going to play those same four notes, but we're going to add something into it. So first on the right hand, instead of making a piano sound, I can choose from hundreds of different instruments, just even with this basic piano here. So for example, I'm going to play what's called a sawtooth wave right now. So if you saw our lesson about waves and wavelengths and frequencies a couple weeks ago, so this is just a really simple wave that goes up and down and actually looks like a sawtooth, like a bunch of triangles. So if we play that, it'd sound like this. What's even more impressive is what the piano can do to turn those four notes, the F, the E flat, the B flat, and the C, to make a whole song around it. So I'll start that up and then we'll see if it sounds a little more interesting. So there I just played an F, but now it's creating a whole song just because I hit an F. So it's all playing notes kind of in that scale of F right now. So now if I start putting the Hey Jude notes on that, then it can sound like we've got a whole band playing behind us instead of just one note at a time. Let's give that a try. This is what I'm doing just with those four notes. There's the E flat, the B flat, and the C. Then we can hit a button just saying we'd like to be done, and the engineers have programmed in a whole end to the song. Then we can just listen to it and have fun with it. All right, kind of cool, huh? So I didn't have to know how to play very many notes, but with an electronic piano and all the things engineers have done to make that fun, we can have a lot of fun with that just by learning a few notes. So if you've got a synthesizer, an electric piano at home that does some of those things, play around with that a little bit. You might find out the music is even more fun than you thought it could be. All right, with that, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you again next time.